brother.
Oh,
We
mint
have
block, whatever. You
eh,
could try whatever block you want
oh,
against Barca. That shit's
against
getting
Barca.
dissected.
Didn't
That
we
shit is
smoke
getting dissected.
Barca in
No.
preseason? Let me be
This
shameless.
guy, this guy, this
5-3,
guy. Hey,
brother.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here, bro. Let's be real.
Smoke y'all,
What is it
bro.
Let's be
preseason?
real. Let's be
We gave
real.
y'all a
That's
pen
crazy.
and then smoked y'all.
Let's be
5 goals
real.
on your head at our own stadium in LA,
Let's
baby.
be real. Please,
Let's
let's be
go.
real.
What is it
Bro,
called? The
bro,
Hold
he
on,
just
what's his
SoFi
name?
claimed.
Hold
Stadium or
on.
whatever.
He
Somehow,
just he just claimed
Yeah, I'm about to piss
Kroenke's
him off.
Kroenke's LA Rams Stadium. Amen,
and
boy. These Arsenal, these Arsenal fans are
what's
different.
his name is going to be in.
When it's time, better let the man Simo speak.
Yo, this is Bilal Muhammad, and you're listening to the Simo Speaks podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome back to another Simo Speaks. I got Muda, Sam, Ewell, and Omar today. It's a UEFA recap about the matches that happened this week. Chelsea advanced 4-2 on aggregate against Legia Warsaw. We're going to let Ewell talk about that for a little bit. And then Arsenal absolutely mog Real Madrid over 2 legs by intense looks maxing by Saka and aura maxing by Declan Rice. We'll talk about the Barca game, and we'll let Sam speak about 2 clubs that are very close to his heart. And then we'll end it with Mo Salah and Virgil contract renewals before finishing off with Ballon d'Or talk.
No, I mean, I had the feeling we were gonna win that. I mean, obviously, the whole Remontada stuff was a bit too much, and it got quite annoying. And in my case, I had my power go out at home, so I almost thought I wasn't even gonna be able to finish the game with my phone dying. But it did start off a little bit hectic though. So I mean, the first penalty miss is a little shaky, you know what I'm saying, and then them missing the penalty, which was even better. You know, kind of calmed the nerves. But yeah, I mean, I felt like we came to play and we completely outplayed them. I also think they are just way out of form. They have no style. There's no teamwork. So
Before the game, I actually said that I think that Arsenal was going to win at Emirates, and then, but I actually also said that I think that Madrid were going to end up winning at the Bernabeu and then going through. So I did give Arsenal a chance. I gave them a fair chance before the tie. I think I watched Real Madrid, I mean, every week basically. So I know that this isn't the same Real Madrid side. They lack fluidity in their team. They don't have a striker, right? So I knew that it wasn't the same Madrid side, but you always know they have the aura at the Santiago Bernabeu. So when they play at their home ground, they always have a chance. But at the end of the day, like if 15 minutes into the game, you realize that they weren't going to do anything by the way they were playing. So.
Look, man, Omar being a little bit too humble for me. So as the resident Real Madrid hater here, they sorry. They just suck. They suck, bro. Like, come on. It was, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, you are worried about the comeback because I mean it's a Madrid thing to do, but the way that the players were acting, the way that the media was acting, all that comeback nonsense, the tweets, they got something special at the burner, the we gotta close the roof, like bro, come on, bro. Once all that was going on, I was like, oh, these niggas are actually truly nervous. Like they didn't do that with the city stuff. They've never done this before. So I'm like, they're actually nervous. So I thought it might be a draw at the burner, but Arsenal came to play.
So let me ask
All
you.
of
You took a little bit of contention with the last Arsenal Madrid recap episode about Vinny's performance. How did you think he played in this leg versus the first one?
More or less the same. I mean, I feel like I guess he played a little bit better, but it still wasn't. It didn't amount to anything. I mean, they're just all discombobulated. They have too many. If this, it, they should have dropped Rodrigo probably and had Jude as the third attacker, like just 3-4-3-3 or whatever. Have Jude at the 10, whatever the case is. But one of the front three had to get dropped. Um, I mean, obviously you probably go with Rodrigo first, but they it just kept highlighting their deficiencies on the air. They're just too top heavy, and they have nobody to control the midfield. Camavinga not being there didn't help. So realistically, you're just playing Tchouaméni and Valverde. There's no control in that midfield. Like you just have two work horses, especially in
I
Valverde.
thought you said 2 war
So
criminals.
No. So it's like it was never gonna work. It was gonna be more or less the same. As soon as I saw what Saka was doing to Alaba 4 minutes into the game, because he got a yellow card 4 minutes into the game. I was like, look,
Terrible
either
tackle.
either Saka's gonna get hurt or he's just about to have Alaba in a torture chamber for 90 minutes. And it was like, bro. Like it was so bad. Like I wasn't even mad that Saka got subbed off in the 71st minute. I wasn't even mad about that. I'll be so mad when teams do that shit against Madrid because I'm like, bro, you know what they do. They come back, bro. So why are you taking your best outlet out? So why are you going so defensive? You don't go defensive too early against them. You do that maybe in like the 82nd minute, whatever, but they be trying to do it 70 minutes. I'm like, bro, you just want to lose at this point. But I wasn't even nervous when that happened. Like Arsenal just looked like far and away the best team. Um
I mean,
Madrid
shit, you
just,
you had Martinelli putting points on the board, man.
I
Those are
mean,
good
like
numbers for his level.
what? That's crazy. That one blew me. That actually made me mad. I was mad to see that. But it was a
I was just really surprised with Moreno. I'm like, it's crazy that Moreno potentially is Arsenal's best striker. Potentially. Just off of
he is.
performances, movement, what, 2 assists, penalty. He had a game in the first leg, a goal in the first leg, excuse me. Like, hey, I'm moved, man. Guy is moving mad. Low key.
I think his technical ability is what's making Martinelli play better because Havertz was never really,
That's what I'm saying.
shifting to that side. So
He looks comfortable.
I'm just being honest here.
Playing better is kind of crazy.
He's playing much better than he was when we began. That is the truth. We know his ceiling, but
The
he
bar is
has
not
been shown.
high.
It's definitely not high, but he definitely works hard. You know what I'm saying?
He went from hot garbage to
That
garbage.
still doesn't mean I want him started next season, but good for him to get a goal.
He did get that goal. That's crazy. But it was just, I mean, yeah, all that comeback stuff before the game was just
The
OD. I
whole
knew
like
That was
they
mad
didn't believe in
annoying.
themselves. They
they
didn't
put with
believe
the
they didn't
speech
believe in us.
in the locker room, and they were like, everyone like gave a round of applause. That shit made me laugh.
I
They
think
said
it kind of.
Carlo. They said Carlo.
No. It was one
Like,
of the players, I think. Was it Bellingham? No. It was one of
nah,
the
it
I,
wasn't
I,
bad.
it must have been PR because Real Madrid conceded 11 last games at Santiago Bernabeu. So if they conceded before the game, it was 10 games. So if they really believe that they weren't going to concede a goal and score 3 goals after the first leg, nah, that was never happening. Let's be honest. And Vinny's been posting those tweets about he's going to do 10 times more to win the Ballon d'Or this season. While
I remember that.
well, if you score less league goals than Mateta last season, and then you want to win a Ballon d'Or, and then you reoccur that last season with doing even worse than that, you can kiss the Ballon d'Or goodbye with your attitude as well. So that
Well, let
isn't
me ask you:
happening.
do you think Kai Havertz, if he was on this current Arsenal squad, do you think they do the same thing to Madrid that they did recently?
I think they do even better. I think with Kai Havertz, I think they even score more goals, to be honest. Now Miguel Marino's been scoring goals, and that finish in the first like wonderful finish. I don't think Kai Havertz would have scored that type of finish, but the thing you get with Kai Havertz is at least you get the chemistry between Bukayo Saka, the box presence as well as Marino has, but the link up ability as well. I think you missed that with Marino, the link up ability. You get the crossing, you get the positioning in the box, you get the heading ability, but without Kai Havertz like technical ability and to manipulate entire spaces, you kind of get off the chemistry which Martinelli feeds off. So I think that they would have done even better. I think. I mean, it's shocking.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't expect to see that front three next season.
Nah, I
As
mean, they
often as they
might.
do.
I mean, Vinny might be gone, but what's it called? But
Where would
I
Vinny
apparently
end
mean,
up?
no,
Saudi.
I don't think any one of them is getting transferred. If there was to be one of them, it would have been Rodrigo to be transferred out of them three. But in my
I
opinion,
feel
I
like
think
I
I
feel
think
like
if Xabi
Rodrigo
Alonso
took.
comes in, I feel like Xabi Alonso comes in, there's no way he's going to play all three of them because of like his him wanting to press and wanting to have attackers that actually complement each other. So I don't think this front three works. So
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do because they really are too top heavy. So they have to sell
yeah,
somebody. They have to sell
yeah,
somebody. I don't care who they
yeah,
bring in. I just don't see it working with anybody, to be honest. Like
yeah.
I don't because they're too top heavy and then the two left side heavy. Like they just overload the left side. And I'm seeing Mbappe on the right to try to switch it up. And I'm just like, bro, that's not his game. He's not like he's ass over there. So it's just
Honestly, I get
stupid.
upset when I start thinking about Chouameni and how he gets wasted. That's a player that could have
I
gone
agree.
to any
I
other
mean,
squad and been in demand.
so
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, he's just a destroyer. I mean, he has that capability to kind of play up a little bit more,
I don't like that
but
word anymore. We should find a new word.
No, I
Destroyer
don't
is
agree. I don't agree that Truman is only destroyed. Like he was in Monaco, he was the first place player of Monaco. He had someone else alongside him that was the destroyer. Like
so I don't I think he has the ability to, and so don't get me wrong, I think he's very versatile. I think he has the ability to play up a little bit, but I just don't know if he has the ability in a more like advanced league. Like you feel me? Like they're not
in
gonna
top
have him
five
do
leagues.
that. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have him doing that at in the Premier League or La Liga or anything like that. Like Monaco, you can kind of get away with that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like realistically, he's kind of playing that Rodri role. You know how Rodri was in those advanced positions. I just don't see him having the ability to do that. And
Nah, I don't think he's got the same ability as Rodri, but at the same time, I
yeah,
think that Real Madrid like they don't have a natural controller in Toni Kroos, which they lost from last season, and going into this season, if that they have Tchouaméni playing in that role, and they expect him to be the controller, but I think
it
that
was
not
a
have
Valverde's that role.
yeah, but
Valverde.
Valverde is that type of player. He doesn't do it for Uruguay as well. And Tchouaméni
Chill.
in this system, they're the only ones using a traditional back four in a build up formation. So like if you're using a flat four and you're trying to build up, you must have the best controller in that position, trying to get out of the first space. And that when they don't have Tony Cruz, you don't have anyone that can do that. So.
Modric.
They need to cut their ties with Truman, in my opinion, and get rid of one of the front three
Zubimendi.
and stop now.
You
I
don't
think
think
Camavinga needs to be the
or
six.
Zubimendi is going to
Camavinga,
Real Madrid.
yeah, because like they need
that's
someone.
not a real. That's not a real. I promise you, that's not a
It's
real
bait.
thing.
It's bait. But I do
It's
want to ask you guys from like you guys being
Oh, is it
outside
out
fans
there?
looking in, how do you guys feel about Miles Lewis Skelly?
he's
Baller, bro.
nice.
Wow.
I think he needs to be a left back though. Stay there.
You
Uh,
think he can't play
Yeah.
eight?
Nah, I think he might as well solidify himself as a left back.
Even
I
if
think
sorry, go on.
he's a midfield. He's a midfielder, right? So, in my opinion, if coming from academy football, when you're a midfielder, it's different, right? Into seniors football, I think that when you're a fullback, the game is ahead of you, so it's easier for you to try to play in coming inverting because you're coming out from an outside position and then into the pitch. Now, if you're starting in a midfield position, you know like Trent Alexander-Arnold,
Very
he
different.
he
Yeah.
has the qualities to play in midfield, right? But he doesn't play in midfield. The times he does play in midfield, he gets caught out because there's a difference playing with your back to goal or with your back to goal and staying in midfield, then inverting into midfield and while the play is ahead of you and you controlling it then by staying deeper. So I think that Muscular with his age and his physicality, I think it fits for him to stay out wide and with the game ahead of him as well. And
I
to
like
be honest,
that.
like he's 18 years old. That physicality with mixed with the technical ability and understanding of the game is unbelievably rare. Like yeah, Arsenal has a gem. They have a
And for the
gem in
future of
And he got that
English
dog in him
football,
too.
he do.
Yeah, that's like everything right there.
For the future of the English national team, it's probably best for him to be a left back.
Yeah, I agree. They have some competition there.
Yeah.
The two
Because I
left
mean, I
backs,
don't know where he's
Limassol
gonna
and
play in the. I don't know where he's gonna play in the midfield. It's a little crowded over there. So
Just a bit.
I think I think he needs to be left back. Just keep developing there. Yeah. He is a dog. He do got that dog in him.
Like him saying Vamos to the Madrid fans, fire.
Yeah.
Absolute fire, bro.
God, man, this is
He
just
spit
so.
water in their face.
Screw those guys.
Should we
Mhm.
should talk about Arsenal versus PSG and how we feel about that matchup. We should
Yeah, we
continue
could
to
do
close
that.
out the
Yeah, we
Arsenal
could do
saga.
that. Actually, I was gonna ask if you're gonna do that
Yeah, I
because I
think
didn't want to talk about them.
Arsenal are favorites in that game for me. I
You
think
think so?
PSG.
I
Yeah, I think
agree.
PSG
I
are
agree.
weak on set pieces. I think Arsenal have the physicality to deal with PSG too.
I,
So
I,
I think that's going to be a big advantage.
I agree
So
with that. Go ahead.
I guess because I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
be
let's let
nervous
the Gooner talk.
since that's the team we're playing. I'd be a little bit nervous, but I am 50-50 about it because honestly, I don't know what to expect, and we are not going to have Partey in the first leg. and that is at home. So I'm not too worried, but I don't know. I know it's gonna be close. And I know their midfield are, they're kind of, they kind of suffocate you, I guess. But I don't know. I kind of feel like, I mean, I overall on paper, I feel like we're stronger. I don't know. It is tricky. I am scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say that right now.
I would say that PSG is the worst. I mean, Arsenal is the worst matchup for PSG in terms of the way they play.
You
Considering
think
that
so?
Arsenal is a fit, yeah, because Arsenal is a like if you look at the Arsenal team, right? The team I would probably most compare them to, or their strengths right now as a cup competition team, that is what their strength is right now. They're a cup competition team. I think they remind me a little bit of Chelsea under Tuchel because they have the physicality, right? They're the best mid block team in the world, and Chelsea were the best mid block team when they won the Champions League in the world. So them being able to set off, having the difference between they can press you, they can sit in the mid block and they can sit in the low block. So they have the variety in terms of how they play against you. And in PSG, they have this counter pressure, right? Their counter pressure is absolutely unbelievable. The tight distance between the players, which allows them to use the technical ability when they receive it, when they win the ball back as quickly as possible. I think they'll struggle against Arsenal because there's that physical that they can match you in terms of the counter pressure, right? So they'll probably try to, and also they have the technical ability to actually obey the pressure of PSG, and then you have a lot of space against PSG as well. So the
I don't.
set pieces as well is another point like Omar made. Set pieces, PSG will struggle because they outside of William Pacho, I think they lack the height in the team. They only have Fabian Ruiz in the midfield that's actually of a physical stature. While Arsenal has Declan Rice, they have Maslow Skelly coming inwards as well. So
I think you explained exactly how our early group stage matchup went because we gave them the ball. We let them do what they wanted, but they didn't get to counter us at all. And we ended up winning 2-0 on obviously, I mean, two impressive goals. It wasn't a set piece or anything, but I guess it came down to the individual plays from Trossard's cross and Saka's goal as well. But it's like they were playing their game, but they weren't doing anything for 90 minutes. And I don't know. I feel like obviously it would be much harder now. They'll do their homework,
yeah,
but I guess we'll do ours too. But I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I don't think it'll be a blowout. It could be boring. Who knows? But
I don't.
Correct me
Their
if I'm
counter
wrong.
press. Oh, go ahead.
Let's say correct me if I'm wrong, but in midfield, do PSG just from what I've seen, do they go man for man in their marking? It looks like it, but it also seems like, you know what I mean? Because like if they're going man for man, there's no one that can deal with Declan. This is coming from a Declan, like I criticize Declan all the time, but like him running, just you know, carrying the ball or even just taking a man with him with those runs into the box. I don't think anyone can really like match him
I
physically
like
the entire
Ruiz.
game.
I like Ruiz for that.
You think Ruiz can match him? I mean, Ruiz is like same
I
height.
think he. I don't. I don't think he. I mean, I think he.
You got to play
I'm
it
not gonna
smart.
say match. You gotta play it smart. I think. I
You can't
think
follow him every
Ruiz
time.
can handle that. I think he can handle that one.
I think
So
so.
honestly, I could low key disagree about the um like their pressing. I don't know. I feel like Arsenal might struggle in midfield. Like Arsenal had a cakewalk in midfield this past time,
When they
but
played against
like
us and they beat us, they were just, putting. I think it was João Neves. I think they were just putting him right on Gravenberg, like the whole game. Him, Coutinho, and Gravenberg was
I
gone.
think. I really like their midfield.
I
So
like it too.
I think PSG wins that midfield battle.
But we
I'm
don't
not
have
gonna
a
lie.
player like Declan that just like, what I mean, can just like run from like
I'm
both boxes, carry a midfielder with him.
I think there's a difference, right? Like if you say
It's a little
win the
different.
midfield, but I think if you say win the midfield battle, I think Arsenal or Arteta will respond to you in a different way that Luis Enrique will, right? I think that I think Arsenal will concede possession like they'll concede possession out of their own will. I don't think they'll try to keep possession and try to stay high up the pitch, knowing PSG's danger in counter attacks, right? Especially now that they don't have Gabriel, right, to
I don't
defend
think
those
they
out
can do
wide
that.
spaces.
I don't think they
Uh,
can do that, man. They can't let
you
I,
you
Arsenal.
I,
have you have to remember Miles Lewis
I mean,
Skelly
PSG.
will be included in that midfield when we're in possession.
yeah, in possession, like he'll be inwards. But I'm saying that PSG probably by design will probably have a lot more of the ball. I'd say the midfield battle then comes into the physical duels, right? Because the duels are actually what wins you the games in these types of games where you don't have
Mhm.
the two teams going up against each other.
I think
Uh,
they just have too much creativity in midfield. Like I really do like to have, and then even if they concede possession, they from the big difference from this upcoming tie and then the first matchup is the fact that they have found a great recipe in playing wingers across the three, like actual wingers. Like despite, I mean, realistically, that's what they pretty much figured out what to do with their front three that Madrid couldn't figure out and how to
but
get them to
but
play well together. And I
at
think
this,
that, well, go ahead, go. You can go.
no, no, you finish. My bad, my bad.
No, I was saying I think they figured something out. Like 77 over there is going crazy. Dembele's a madman. I like their front three a lot, and I think PSG's midfield is better. So if Arsenal's going to concede possession, I feel
Mm.
like that's a dangerous game because like I feel like they'll be able to open up the game.
Uh,
They're gonna stretch they're gonna stretch them they're gonna stretch that back line completely.
I mean,
And
two
it's gonna be a
teams.
lot of 1v1s on those wings. And I'm
I mean,
like
Nah,
I
I
feel
mean,
like I mean I don't know. I feel like
we
I mean you
don't.
tell me
That's. I mean, listen. If you've watched us all year, you will never really rarely see our fullbacks on a 1v1. Why? Because that happened to us early in the year. We had a lot of 1v1s. We were getting burnt. Calafiori burnt. Timber not so much. But now you will not see them alone. Rarely. You know, there'll be that Saka.
you are
There'll be
right.
that Martinelli. And I know you watched the PSG second leg. It was a little tricky. I mean,
yeah.
maybe they gave you that little Matty Cash, Lucas Dean hype because I was like we don't got Lucas Dean and Matty Cash over here. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was gonna mention like the actually like if you're saying you're going man for man, right, in terms of the midfield positions, you're saying the technical quality of PSG is better than the midfield of Arsenal, which is true. But I'm saying that
Yeah.
if you're looking at the second game, Aston Villa nullified the midfield with a 4-5-1 press, and they were going man for man as well. They were matching them, and they were winning their duels. They had physical plays like John McGinn. They had plays that actually matched them in their physicality. They had a high counter press, and they
But
actually had a lot of problems in the beginning of the game. They were just lucky that PC was fluffing their final third actions. I think in the second
which they
half you
were.
saw a lot more. Yeah, but in the second half you saw them PC were winning, were losing almost every single duel. And when you saw them not have the possession of the ball and they had to defend the space, PC was struggling. So I think Arsenal can show them
So
the physical and the technical aspect, the mix. And I think
I
that's
do,
why they
I
have the
do,
upper hand.
I do have a question though. Do you feel as though, because I mean, we saw how hot PSG started off that game. They went up 2-0 immediately. Do you feel as though there's a sense of they took their foot off the gas pedal? Like credit to Villa for their second half adjustments, but do you feel as though like they felt like, all right, this is more or less in the bag. So second half we can kind of just relax. I mean, Villa did adjust and made it a game, but do you feel as though that is the case? Because I don't like, yes, and maybe if it was a closer game, I feel like PSG would have responded a little bit differently to what Villa ended up doing.
I'd say just to end it here, like, I'd say PSG in the beginning, Aston Villa were already dominating, like in terms of their counter pressure and the duels. I think PSG just evaded the pressure at two different occasions and they took their chances. But Villa were the
Yeah.
better team even in the beginning, so I don't think they took their foot off the gas. I think just Aston Villa just upped their tempo even as well as graduating as the game went on.
That is another thing though, because I mean, Madrid did have their chances against Arsenal. There was a layoff that Vinny didn't play. There was a couple of chances that they kind of had, I feel like. And I think PSG is less selfish in
I
those
don't agree. I don't
situations.
think Real Madrid. I don't think Real Madrid had
No,
any
they
chances.
early on they did. I
Hey
think there was
man,
one
Oh,
and
in the
leg
first
one,
leg,
leg one,
in
we
the
should have
first
won
leg.
6-1. You know what I'm saying?
there was a couple chances. I know Vinny he should have laid it off to Mbappe, I'm pretty sure.
Mbappe took
But
a
he didn't
crazy
he took
shot in the
he took a
first leg
shot.
too.
Yeah,
So
there's
I
a
think
lot of selfish play.
I think they
There's a lot
had
of
two
selfish play in
chances
that front
probably.
thing.
So
Yeah, but
let me
I
ask,
don't
why
know.
was Dembele
Yeah.
so upset accepting the man of the match award?
In that
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
Yeah, in that
to be
interpretation.
honest, he's just I feel like he's just on a different mindset right now. Like
Okay.
he's
Yeah,
just
he's on that
he's
leadership
probably
mindset.
again. I
He is
think
a team leader, I think.
that's kind of the point I was getting at. Like the fact that they were up so much in the first half, like they just kind of took their foot off the gas in a second. So I think he's mad about that. Like
I
he's
see,
like, this is
and that's why I
too
brought it.
too close to
Like,
come. Yeah, it's too
I
close
think
to.
I think in one of their goals was an error by Emi Martinez, so there's probably not much to be
Yeah,
happy about, even though they went through.
yeah.
Which is, I
So
mean, a good sign, I guess. I mean, every team, I think all the teams left have that mindset. They don't care. They'll do anything to win. If they play like shit and move on anyway, sorry, excuse my language, but they'll be upset about it. So yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah. Because I mean, even Barca, like I mean, we
let's go
about to
into
talk about
Barca.
that now.
Yeah, go into
Yeah,
it. Go into it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, even the Barca game, like, what's it called? Was the whole team was mad, and I was mad. But so I predicted that series was gonna end 7-2. I feel as though if Pedri would have started and call me crazy, just because of how we are tactically set up, if Balde was playing too, if Pedri and Balde was playing, it was going to be a 7-2 like defeat. I feel like maybe even more. Like I felt like Barca in the first leg controlled the whole game. I just felt as though we didn't have that control in midfield without Pedri. And then Rafinha, as much praise as I give him for doing whatever the manager has asked him to do, playing across the middle or the front line, I think he just struggled being that far wide on the left, and he had a bad game. And it just was a bad game for Barca. That second one, I did low key get a little nervous, but probably tired as hell.
I was gonna ask you, Sam, is that the worst performance from your right side this year so far?
Right? Oh yeah. I mean, what's his name was also
Was it Araujo?
okay. That hmm?
The Kunde
Araujo
Yamal
started?
Yeah, he
S
did. He did.
shit
That's
show.
another thing.
Kunde is
Might
Yeah,
I
no, no,
class.
might I
no.
say?
Running in the
Araujo
streets of
didn't
New
have to
York
start.
City is class. While it's
Yeah,
raining.
no.
That's
He's
most
actually
likely on
sick.
vacation too, bro. Because why else
He's
would he be
actually a
there?
sick though. He's a sicko. He's truly
Hey man,
sicko.
tell him to lock in,
Um,
bro.
he is locked in.
It's the semis.
Um, I do believe that. I feel like what's his name didn't really see much of the ball. I don't. I maybe it's because again we didn't have that control in midfield, and like so it was hard to like get the ball over there. I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of just
Sam,
chalked this game up to.
I don't mean to cut you off, right? Only because we have a guest with us, and I'm trying to integrate him in here. I want to ask him about. Ewa, what are your thoughts on Lamine Yamal? What do you think about him as a player? Because we all have given our opinion. I want to know what you think.
Absolutely ridiculous football. That when you think about pure football talents, like but Lamine Yamal is a throwback to what football used to be like in terms of freedom, the plays with flair. And you can see that in a way like Adidas is like gambling hard on him. They're using him on every ad. Like it, I mean, his quality is absolutely insane. Like he's a ball to feet player, but he's a ball to feet player where you'd want an aggressive defender coming up against him, but if you're aggressive, he'll just take the first touch and get it past you. And if you're not aggressive, he has the technical ability and the vision to play a pass where into let's say a Lewandowski or find a teammate out of nowhere. So I mean, ridiculous play. You saw it in the Nations League, the first touch out of the pass from Dean Huijsen inwards against Netherlands, just cut it in extra time.
You don't know about John Barnes on Watford, bro. Come
Oh
on.
my God!
Oh
Shut
shit,
up.
John Barnes, yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Throwing
Honestly,
bananas.
now that I think about it, I don't even recall like a 17-year-old being that good. We usually
I
just
think
see him
Hazard.
pick
I
off.
think I saw Hazard at 17.
I think the best 17-year-old
Yeah.
I witnessed was like Kamavinga. Really?
Nah, he's nowhere near. He's nowhere near. No
So
way.
like, but that's like in his position. Like that's the talent. Nothing close to Yamal. So Yamal's probably
I
the
don't.
best 17-year-old I've ever seen
They,
because I didn't
I
really
don't
watch.
think.
I didn't get to
Yeah,
watch
this.
Messi come into play.
I don't think this.
Messi
This
was
been
19 when I
this.
saw him cook.
Nah, he was getting
Yeah,
16. He really started cooking.
yeah. I
This is
don't.
different. And he didn't even start cooking until 17. He started cooking when he was 16 and
Yeah,
15.
I
Yeah,
saw
he's
Hazard at
16.
20.
Actually, 15 and like a half maybe, if I remember correctly.
Nah,
No, see,
But,
okay.
dude,
Simon's right. Like, if I was to say a player in the top five league that performed probably as young as him in a team and carrying them, it'd probably be in Hazard at Lille.
And
Like
carrying
he
the
literally,
churros.
yeah,
Carrying
this
them
one.
churros. You're stupid. Is that what you said? Carrying
Yeah.
churros?
No, carrying in the Euros.
Oh, I
Euros.
thought you said
Yeah,
carrying
he could.
churros.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on, the
that's
sports
crazy.
talk has to stop.
I, I think.
Nah, to be honest,
I don't know. I mean, has there been a 17-year-old that you can make the argument that they're best player in the world? I'm trying to think. Like,
No,
Last
no,
one,
no.
no.
No, that's true. No, you're right.
yeah,
I've
and
never
that's
seen anyone on
Michael
the
Owen.
on this level.
About it.
Like it, like
Who?
it's,
You say
Owen.
Freddie Adu?
No, Michael
this
Owen
guy.
though.
Oh, Michael Owen.
Well, you can
Yeah,
get
what?
out
nah,
here,
he was
right?
good.
Ballon in 19. I mean, it wasn't the same Ballon, right? It's the before they integrated the FIFA Golden Ball and the Ballon d'Or, but
Neymar
Mm,
for me was 18, and so not
Neymar as
17.
well.
Yeah,
yeah,
18 was
Neymar
17
at
is
Still
Santos.
just
yeah,
Messi, but
17
that
is
was
yeah.
He's
more
a
like
Ballon d'Or
18 to
contender at
19.
Santos. So
crazy.
I'm saying it wasn't a top
it's
five league.
This man is legit top three favorite right now for Ballon d'Or. That's
Yeah,
just at 17.
he hasn't even
He's
filled
just
out his body yet. Like
he hasn't, and he's
he has
still
still
he's dealing with the contact, the physicality very
I
well.
imagine he gains
Like
like puts on 15 more pounds maybe in the next like
it's
5 years or
it's a
so.
wrap.
As long
It's a
as he
It's
wrap.
doesn't
over.
grow in
It's
height, I
over.
think he's fine.
Yeah, with
You
his
see,
height, you
I
wouldn't
kind of
want
I
him to
kind
be
of feel
heavy,
like
my boy.
yeah, but I don't know. I kind of like I don't thinking about it. I might not be that mad if he goes a little bit more. Like I don't think I'll be
How
that
old is he?
mad. He
He's like
what
5'11".
5'10" ish
He's
maybe.
5'11", my God. He's
He's
Yeah,
tall.
5'11".
I think
I
he
mean, I'm
is
okay if
tall.
he's like
Maybe
six
6'5".
one. I'm okay if
Yeah,
he's like 6'1". I'm
if he
not
gets to
gonna
like
lie.
6'5",
he's five
Yeah,
eleven.
5'11",
Yeah,
yeah,
he'd be like
160
6'1".
pounds.
He can't go over 6'1", I don't think. But I
yeah.
think if he's like 6'1", that's okay
Over
still.
6'1",
I
you're just
think
gonna make him, a
Damn,
complete
it's
striker.
just
Rafinha is
weird. I
short.
think
Yeah. So,
so.
so let me ask you, how do you feel about going into the matchup against Inter?
I feel like a lot. So maybe the last episode I kind of praised intern a little bit more than other people did, but I feel like now people are trying to just overrate them a little bit, like their defense and everything. I mean, the defense is different, obviously, because we play the offside trap, but we've conceded less goals than them. Like, I mean, and then Bayern with missing what Musiala, missing they're missing like four starters over this time. Like, and I mean they took him to the brink pretty much. Like it was a close tie. So I mean I'm pretty confident about it. The only concern I'll have is just the fatigue. It seems like the fatigue might be kicking in a little bit because we had to play since what after the last international break. We had to play Osasuna midweek immediately. Then we had all these, like it's pretty much a game every 3 days. And then now we're going into this tie, and it's Inter, then Madrid, then
Yeah, I
Inter,
think
then Madrid.
you have a Clasico before the first match, then you have a
You had
Clasico after
yeah
the second
after the
leg.
first yeah
Is one of them in Saudi?
nah
They're
And
both gonna be in
Clasico
Spain.
is I think.
I
Oh
think
yeah, maybe no. I think the
oh I
Copa
don't
del
know
Rey
where
will be in
There's the
Spain.
Del Rey.
the
Where's the Del
final
Rey final?
no the Copa del Rey final has something to do with Saudi. It's the Super
Yeah,
Copa
it's the
is what
Super Copa, I think.
yeah. So it's just I
You
don't
guys are in that final too?
what the Super Copa.
Yeah. Oh
I
heck.
no. Did we win
No,
that?
the
I
Copa
thought
del
we won
Rey.
that.
It's Copa del
We
Rey.
Oh, Copa del Rey.
I
Yeah,
think we
the
won
one
the
against
Super
Real
Copa.
Madrid.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah, we
Yeah,
won
won the
you
Super
won against
Copa.
Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be rough. I just hope we can manage it. I'm actually very happy that he took Yamal off early, and I'm happy that he rested Pedri for the most part because they need it. Um, that second match was just it was a little nerve-wracking because it kind of gave the sense of damn, we have these demons that we have not exercised yet. But then we won, so I also feel like we have because we won this close match that shouldn't have been that close in the first place. But it was just weird, you watching it, you kind of think like, damn, here we go again. Like they might
They,
come back.
I think they lost. They're gonna lose Marcus Thuram. I think he won't be able to
I
play.
saw
You
that
guys.
too. I saw that. I also saw the what's it called thing. I don't know anything about the Mbappe injury. I feel like that was
Hey,
kind
let's
of
be real, man. Their season's
uh,
over.
I mean, yeah, but they still, they're not mathematically out. But I also heard that I saw a report that Carlo might be gone after the final. So
Yeah, it wasn't
like
true.
immediate,
They
it wasn't
they
true.
they got
Okay,
no,
okay.
it
I
got
didn't, I
regarded
didn't,
today.
I didn't double check on it,
I read
so
something
okay.
entirely different. I read him telling Brazil he's not leaving Madrid yet. That's what I read.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what he said like a few months ago. But it looks like he's going to go at the end of the season. That's what Reliable
Dang.
posted today, and they're
they
probably make
also,
sure.
I saw something saying that Perez doesn't want to end it on a sour note. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
they did it
It's
last
gonna be
time.
interesting. It's
They
gonna
did
be
last time.
interesting. What?
Yeah, they did end it in a sour way the last time in 2015 when he left
Yeah, but
Madrid.
I heard that this time though they don't want to. I
Yeah, they
guess
don't
I
want.
don't
Yeah,
know. So
they're not gonna do
we,
it. But
we're gonna
I
see.
yeah, I was just gonna just say again in the Inter Milan game against Barca, I think probably that's the type of opponent probably Barcelona wanted to face the least, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because but I mean, Inter Milan, they play this type of rigid low block, and they use their width a lot. And I think the opponents that Barca struggled the most against this season is probably Atletico Madrid. If you watch them, the multiple games they played against them in La Liga, they just recently took over and they won 4-2 at the Metropolitan Stadium. And but the previous games in the Copa, what was it? Was it the Copa del Rey? You played 4-4 as well.
Yes. So
Uh,
so oh, go ahead, my bad.
and in La Liga, you lost at home to them with a Alexander Sørloth, my Norwegian fellow Norwegian, last minute goal as well.
So that's the part right there. That's what it is. So watching it, honestly, besides that match right there, which I think we did play bad, honestly, I feel like we fairly dominated them all season. It was just those laps and like that moment of lapse, and then we do struggle against the bigger, stronger number nines. So, and that's where like this he's just coming on as a super sub and just go go go, and it's just like, bro, all of our work was undone. But if you see the game or like follow the scoreline too, we were up like a lot of it. Like I felt like we dominated a lot of those
Yeah,
matchups. It was
you
just
you
like it was just a moment of, especially that 4-4. That 4-4 should have never happened.
yeah,
I
I
was
agree with that.
I was very mad about that 4-4. But I felt like besides that first game, which was in December when we had a drop in form in December, I felt as though we've like honestly dominated that match, though that matchup. I felt like we did very well against that matchup. So I mean, I
Yeah,
kind of agree with you. Like we do, like I think we struggle with the big number nine, not necessarily that style of play this season, at least this season. But it's just like those matchups. I felt as though coming away from those matchups, I was like, I think we were by far the best team, even though the scoreline doesn't
no,
reflect
I
it.
agree with you. I think but domination by design is different in terms of UCL knockout competitions, right? I think that
Yeah.
Inter is probably this is what they do.
Hmm.
I've watched them multiple times in the league this season. They flatter to deceive to say the least. I mean they
Yeah.
struggle against teams that sit back against them, but when they become the team that sit back, they play on the team dominating and them hanging on, playing on their physicality. Then they use the width. They use Marcus Thuram as the link-up ability with Lautaro, right? And I think Barca at sometimes this season they struggle against those direct teams while playing their offside trap. And while using their width with Gianluca Del Marco, I actually think there's a way I could actually see Inter Milan go through against
Mhm.
Barcelona, them playing on their physicality. So that's what I want to
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
That's
All right,
I think.
let's
I
move
ain't
on
mad at
from
it.
Champions League. Let's stay in UEFA though. Well, Chelsea advanced 4-1 aggregate against Legia Warsaw. Sancho assists. Next game is against Djurgården, who are 13th in the Allsvenskan Swedish league.
An
How do
IKEA
you
Yeah,
feel?
product.
Allsvenskan, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
straight up. It is what it
Lord,
is.
Lord, Lord have mercy on my soul talking about this game. I mean, yeah, I was ranting. I was vexed. I even had to stop watching the game like at the 80th minute because Bodø Glimt was playing against Lazio, and my local team's ex-coach is the coach of Bodø Glimt, so I had to tune in and support the Norwegian team, first Norwegian team in the European semi-final. So I cut it at the 80th minute, but until the 80th minute, I mean, we have very worrying signs right now. I think that we'll struggle to win the Conference League. I'm being that serious. I mean, we sit in this narrow formation where we just try to wait out the opposition, and we isolate our wingers. But again, our wingers do. I mean, Sancho, he's probably as good 1v1 as your local shop guy in DMV. Like this guy needs support. He needs overlaps. He can't do it on his own. This guy, he's not an athlete. I'm telling you, he's not an athlete. Like he's a very technical player, but every technical player leads players around him. I think Maresca is not utilizing the wingers and the as well enough. I think Probably Madueke is probably the only one that actually can handle because of physicality and his pace. But Sancho struggles. So if you don't have the overlap, what is he going to do? He's just going to receive the ball, try to do some body feints, as he always does, try to move like a Nigerian, and then try to play the ball inwards again to his fellow midfielder. So, in my opinion, it's looking a little bit bleak for the Premier League. And I don't think we get top 5. If we do, I'll be surprised. And yeah, I mean, I guess Lega Barca, that was literally a shit show, absolute shit show. The defending, it's my bad for language, but the defending was absolutely terrible as well. It was, yeah, there's not much to say about that game. It was not good.
All right, let's move on then. Muda, Virgil, and Mo Salah renewed their contracts. This is a question for everybody, but obviously tailored towards Muda. How are we feeling, man? You feeling like it's gonna be good short term and terrible long term?
Potentially. Obviously, I'm glad that Mo Salah and Virgil signed, but it seems more like it might be controversial. It seems more like a cope for what's going on with Trent, because Trent's supposed to be the guy you give the contract to and build the team around. These guys, Mo Salah always has this post February slump kind of thing, and it's just like we have to find a way to deal with that. I don't know how these two deals are gonna, affect the wage structure of the team. But with people going out, like I think Darwin's done. I think Jota's probably finished. Elliot seems to be out of favor with Slot. What else we got going on? There's gonna be a lot of basically people leaving the team, and maybe that builds up the wage structure. But then, what's going on in the striker market right now? Who you got? Gyökeres? I don't know if it's good enough.
Trash.
Osimhen's the only guy that I really want, and
And he's
it's
40.
the wages game. With him, he's gonna
No,
want.
he's 40. That's the problem.
He's what? 40?
He's actually 40. That's the real problem.
You're saying he has a forged document?
Yeah, absolutely.
A striker that kind of just improves the team. It doesn't, other than Isak, which is gonna be 150 million. It's FSG. I struggle to really see a striker in the top leagues that really improves Liverpool. Maybe if we pull a Brighton and grab someone from Congo just as world class, who they grab, like Baleba, like they just found him in the cut and he's just like one of the best DMs. Like we gotta do something like that, because there's no one that really moves me other than like Osimhen obviously and Isak. Those are my two guys right now. But the Virgil signing is huge because our other center backs are so lost.
And that's gonna be for 2 years, right?
Yeah, and that's fine. Virgil, the way he plays, he can play for another
And
3,
you're
4.
probably gonna lose Konate soon, right? There's links for him to leave.
There is, and I don't know. I think he signs though. I have a feeling Konate signs.
With PSG knocking,
Yeah, he looks like a
He's
PSG
knocking
player
at
if
the
I
Tom
ever
It
seen
looks
him.
like PSG is coming for him.
he's trying to go home, my boy.
I don't know.
I
Center
would
backs
actually,
are more. There's a lot of good center backs out there. I'm not worried about center back replacements as much. Like you got Dean Hodgson, you got.
Yep.
You want Araujo for 20. You can get Araujo for 120.
Yeah, I still like Diamande.
yeah, ain't nobody doing that.
Hey, 120 your tap. What's wrong with you? He said
But,
120.
I think like 70
Yeah.
maybe. Because he has
Nah,
like
I still want him for 70.
Yeah, Diamande might be 40 years old too. No
yeah,
cap.
Diamande actually he's-
70 for the hospital bills and 10 for the actual player.
Who?
For
Diamande.
Araujo.
Nah, he's not that injury prone, man.
But yeah, I mean, this league, hopefully we win it. I think it might be a couple years of maybe some obscurity. Like top 4 finish is not going to be a problem, but I don't see us challenging for the league for another 2-3 years maybe.
After
Y'all
this,
are fried
Oh,
after
really?
this.
Yeah,
You
after
guys
this,
are
I think
fried.
we're absolutely fried next season. Like,
You are
I
fried.
just
if
Wow.
Salah doesn't have another world class season, bro, he's gonna
yeah,
be
that's what I'm saying.
stealing
Like
the check.
unless we get like
He's gonna
3
be stealing
attackers,
the check.
Yeah,
because who
yo.
like Luis Diaz,
His dad will play on the other side.
that's what I'm saying. Just
Hey,
Luis,
bro.
I can't with Luis Diaz, and then you got Jota, he's done. He got what Velveeta knees now.
Can't you get money back like through insurance on players that are always injured, or is that only in the NBA?
No, you don't get it in football.
That's crazy.
Only in international breaks. So if they get injured during the international breaks, they do get the
club
insurance.
Yeah,
comes
that's
in.
Some sort of relief.
Yeah. So the clubs the clubs get
I
a
think that's
compensation.
I think that was recently implemented. Am I wrong? I don't think it was
I
like
think
that
it was
before.
no, I think it was 5 years ago something because
No,
of
it's
the UEFA
recent.
Nations League getting added. I think
Yeah, they're playing way too many games, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, these guys
way
playing
too many.
NBA level of games. Like it's like
Like,
definitely a
bro,
lot.
if your
yo,
team is
that
good, look,
like real talk, Yamal playing like what
He needs to
on.
slow down.
70, 80 games a year is not
Right
ideal
now.
for a 17-year-old.
Like, imagine the bone
He'll
development.
be
That's
all
not
right.
going to be good.
He'll be all right.
Nah, no,
You get
nah, nah,
good.
nah. I mean,
Mm.
Like,
just
the only reason why I'm saying he'll be all right, I think
He gets
as
load
long as
managed.
it's not there's no muscle injuries. You feel me? And like if it's not muscle, then I feel like he's okay. I feel like there's too much science in sports now that and medicine that like these players' recoveries are a lot faster, you know. Like that's why I'm not too like worried about like if he doesn't develop a hamstring issue or something like that, then I feel like he's cool. Um,
so you'd be okay with a knee tear more than
I
a
feel like you
hamstring
can,
injury.
yeah, because I feel like you can come back from that. Like bro, we see completely different sport. We
Depends on your
see
position.
that, but I'm saying like it's a completely different sport. But like there's a Stephon Diggs, wide receiver for the Patriots. He tore his ACL like 3 months ago, 5 months ago. But if you see how he's moving right now, it's mad.
ACL
Like
technology, like ACL
it's
repair technology, has come a long way.
a long way.
Yeah,
So like that's why I'm like
It used to be
it
career
kind of
ending.
depends. See, and we have like, bro. I mean, what Rodgers back in training now? Like, it's I
Was
just
Saka a hamstring tear or
I'm
ACL? Kai was
Nah,
the
it was
ACL.
a
no, it was a
no.
hamstring. It was
They were
hamstring.
both muscle
okay.
injuries.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
Yeah,
see,
Um,
Saka was hamstring. Saka was hamstring.
yeah, sorry, yeah. And I don't know. You really think Rodri will come back with the same bounce, bro? I don't think he'll be able to make those turns
but
anymore. Real
I
talk.
don't. I just I
Even at
I
his
just
age
have
too.
I just have to see it till like I just have to see it, bro. Like
Hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind. I'm not going into any
you think?
ACL tears thinking like, oh, they're not gonna be like play now. Don't get me wrong, there might be some rust, and I feel as though it will be more of a confidence and mental thing with a player before I think it's a re-injury.
It's also like, there's like a fear factor when it comes to those kind of injuries too, like
Yeah.
pushing off
Yep.
the amount of power, turning the same.
Hmm.
Mm.
But
That's what I'm saying.
your
I think
knee
it's a
is
mental thing.
fine. Yeah, your knee is gonna be fine, but it's just a mental thing. Pain does that to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
exactly.
don't. I mean, what's another player? I mean,
As a
he
hamstring,
might.
Kevin
yeah,
Durant
Hamstring
tore
is
his
so much
ACL.
different.
yeah, like
Who?
I didn't even tear. I just like I pulled my hamstring and I was like, yeah, imagine if I teared this shit.
So that's I feel
So
like
painful.
that's the only thing. That's the only issue I have. Like I that's
Hamstring,
don't get me
hip
wrong.
injury. Hip injury is very underrated as well for soccer.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
He
I
said
used to I
underrated.
struggled.
He said
No, it's very
underrated.
underrated. Like people get hip injury. I'm
Listen,
like,
bro.
bro, look, listen. Let me tell you what happened. So I had some people over, so I've spent a night on the couch downstairs. I woke up, my hips, bro. I was like, yo, imagine if I try to bend a free kick. It's not going anywhere, bro.
Yeah, that's
Nothing's
Yo,
crazy.
happening. There's nothing happening. There's no churns. There's no nothing, bro. Like that. It's actually really important.
So before I get everybody out of here, I want all of you to give me your number one front runner currently for the Ballon d'Or shout.
Mhm.
dang.
Who's first?
I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna throw long. I'm gonna say Pedri, number one.
Ooh.
You know
So
ball,
I gotta
sir.
say him, man.
You know
You know what? I agree. I
ball.
agree.
It's
I have
Pedri.
Pedri. I have Pedri.
Pedri.
I have
It is
Pedri for the
Pedri.
front runner.
And if
He's
anything,
ridiculous this season.
yesterday's game, no, sorry, not yesterday's game, the last leg against Dortmund tells you all you need to know. Pedri didn't start, and we
Mm.
just looked like a deer in headlights in midfield. De Jong, Frankie, he didn't know what he was doing. I didn't really. Gavi's a little bit different. I think Gavi needs to be. You can't partner Gavi and Frankie together. You need partner one of them with Pedri. But if you watch that game, you see how it changed when Pedri came on. It's Pedri, bro.
Mm.
Pedri,
I
he
think
just doesn't. He's a midfielder, so he's not gonna get like he doesn't have the stats. He's not gonna get all that. But you have to actually watch the game and see what he
mm,
does when he's on the pitch to understand that he's one of the best player on the team and like more most impactful player because I still think Jamal is probably one of the best players in the world, maybe top three.
He's the best
But
midfielder in
Pedri,
the world.
yeah, he's by far. So
I
you
agree.
have to actually watch this guy play to understand like he should be Ballon d'Or.
It's not about the statistics. It's not about the statistics.
It's not. Then if that's the case, is Rafinha, and I'm just like, if you watch that game,
Yeah,
Rafinha
nah.
was useless. So
Nah, I agree with you. Like Pedri's got 9 man of the matches in 2025 alone, I think, or something like that. Like he's ridiculous this
he's
season. I mean,
insane.
yeah, and
It's
he even again, what's underrated, right, is that
OG
those games where Barcelona grind out results is purely out of probably because of Pedri. Because against Leganes, you were playing away like last weekend, and he was
Mhm.
struggling again in the latter stage of that game, and Leganes was coming up the pitch, they were attacking, and he was the only one getting out of pressure. He was literally dragging the team out of the mud for the last 10 minutes in that game. So, I mean,
Seriously.
his technical ability is
And his defensive
ridiculous.
ability too. Like he's
Yeah,
kind of a
reading of the
dog.
game.
He has that
Listen,
He's
dog
a
in him.
dog as well.
he would be by far the like I mean he is I think he is like I don't think there's any question that he's the best midfielder, but a lot of the scores around him early on is simply because his injury history. If he's on the pitch, he changes the match by far. And I seen Mel going to the season. I think we had that episode where it was like expectations, and I was like, look, I just want Pedri to be healthy, and he's healthy, and we see what he's doing now. So he's just too good, bro. He's getting the away stadiums chanting his name for like games, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Obviously, like I think Pedri's probably for the if you know ball, he's probably the front runner. But the only thing that I see that can probably derail that is a PSG Champions League win. In that case, it's Dembele for me. And then, what do you think? What do you think about that,
I,
Sam?
Yeah,
so
That's
yeah.
my
so I mean,
choice. I was gonna
listen,
say
That's the
okay,
only thing. I think a
if
Champions
listen.
League
PSG
win.
wins,
My
I mean,
thing is, oh, go ahead. So my bad. Go ahead, Sima. You can.
no, I was gonna say, like it's a French award. If PSG wins the award, that it's pretty much
Dembele scores in
politics
the
at that
final.
point,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Yeah, and
more
if he
around
scores in the
there, but
final,
He
that's
scores
why
in
I
the
was
final.
gonna
It
go with
might be
Dembele.
GG.
So
Um,
I
yeah,
so
it's
I
ridiculous.
told y'all I think I said it the last time too. I was like, look, I'm cool with two Barca players and Dembele, or I'm cool with a whole Barca podium. I think before we started this episode, I saw on Twitter it says score 90 has Rafinha, Pedri, Yamal, Salah, and then Dembele. And I'm like, how is Dembele below Salah right now? So I think Dembele definitely should be four or like third or fourth. But it's hard to make the case for him to break top three right now. But yes, I do. I wouldn't be mad at Dembele, but if you ask me the favorite right now, I have to say I think Pedri's by
yeah.
far the best. Now, like right now, this right now. Now, obviously, if anything happens from now to the end of the Champions League final, I think you start to think like I think whoever wins that and has the best performance shoots up
Yeah.
to
He's like a
the
spotter too, instantly.
yeah. Like if Dembele wins, if PSG wins
Yeah.
the Ballon d'Or, he's going to be number one. I think.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's Pedri
Yeah.
unless PSG win the Champions League, and then even then, like say Dembele has a great game, then yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, even like I mean, but shoot, it could be Pedri and Dembele in the finals for
yeah.
Champions League, and Pedri could have a masterclass
That's
performance,
what I'm
but
saying. It's
Dembele
gonna
wins.
be them
So,
too, like most
so
likely, depending on how it goes. But like
mhm.
Okay,
Barca
so
the final.
we'll say Pedri, Dembele, one of those two. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
I think
the
that's probably yeah.
I mean the group.
Hey man, another great episode. Thanks for having me, man. You know where to find me. Actually, don't find me.
Yeah.
Don't find
He
me.
doesn't exist.
I do not exist. I do not. I'm not gonna plug myself.
Yeah, congrats to Liverpool for winning the Premier League. Bye.
Oh yeah, I'll take it at this point. Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
It
Invite
was
again, Simo.
nice meeting you, bro.
Right.
All I gotta say is, man, PSG by do them boys filthy, man. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my
Dude,
days.
man, this guy's just blurting out what he's tweeting, bro. This guy, bro.
That's crazy.
Say nah, Visca Bassa. Let's go.
Listen, man, Nuno Mendes, you know what happens when he goes 1v1 versus Saka. He owns that kid, bro.
Hey, like, listen, yeah, Saka, yo, he was
That
putting
boy
that,
is
he was
bro.
putting them in the torture chamber.
I mean,
Dude.
him attempting that penalty was so disrespectful.
It was.
It was
you know the thing
disrespectful.
is-
Like he was so confident. He was like, "Bro, I could do anything."
What? And
I love that. I love that though. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And you know that Dani Carvajal from Real Madrid, like man,
Oh,
man,
yeah,
this guy,
fucking
this
weirdo,
guy
bro.
is such an entitled rat, man. I don't like this guy, man. Always
Is
been
it
like
true-
that
is-
against every single opponent.
Is it
Is it
true
true?
that he was saying like his celebration when he scored he wasn't thinking about Henry, he just wanted them to
It
shut up?
wasn't. You wasn't. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't. You know
yeah,
why?
yeah, because they were
Because
talking shit after he
because
missed the penalty.
after he missed the pen, they were trolling the kid like in his face, bro. And
Yeah.
then you had Vinny pointing
bro.
down like, I'm like,
Yeah, he's
bro,
better
we
than
know it's your home, guy. Win the game.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my days.
You
But
said
yeah,
what?
So like Vinny didn't scuff the penalty like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like come on now.
he
Like-
scuffed both legs, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all see any word on the Mbappe injury? Because low key, that's
It looks
advantage
like
Madrid
looks like a
if he's missing that final.
it looks like a sprain.
How long-
Advantage Madrid, to be honest, is probably the advantage Madrid, considering he's been their best player since 2025 began.
Nah, but I'm just
I mean,
saying now they don't have to overthink
They might-
the front three, and they can
That's
just
what Brahim
play.
said.
Play Brahim Diaz in the middle, just like play
Nah,
some
they're gonna
football.
play Jude. This is gonna be Jude. in the
Oh,
middle
Jude, and
for
then
the
Diaz in
final.
midfield or something.
It's
I don't know.
it's gonna be the starting lineup for
Bro,
last
start
year.
the kids, bro. Play Arda Güler, bro. But yeah, play Arda Güler, man. What are we doing here, bro?
Stop.
He's on fraud watch.
Low key fire.
Out of the wait, what? Who's
Fraud-
on fraud?
He's not
watch?
on fraud watch. He's not even.
It's not on
playing.
fraud watch,
Poor
but
kid,
he's
bro.
just like he wasted his time. doing it.
Andrick might be on fraud watch.
Nah,
getting
both of
getting
them.
megged by Martinelli is definitely a crime, bro. You do not let that happen, bro.
Two
You don't get
Brazilians. two
don't
Brazilians
get
that's
out
not
Brazilian
Brazilians.
by an Italian, dude.
That's-
It's very
Two
simple.
Brazilians that's not Brazilian.
There we go. I know ball. You
Exactly.
know ball. This is my agenda, by the way. Vinicius from Cameroon, bro.
Yes.
No real Brazilians. Low-key, we have the most real Brazilian. His name is Gabriel Magalhaes, and he's not even playing.
Oh, damn. Hey, I thought this joint wasn't true, but I don't know. This source right here kind of tells me it might be true. Zubi to Madrid.
No. It's all bait. I'm telling you this right now. It's bait.
Uh-oh.
That joint. It's bait because they just lost, and they're trying to gas up these boys. Trust me.
Nah, they could have did. They
What
coulda
are they
dropped
gonna
some-
do when they sign
They
him,
could have
bro?
dropped some Barca, Niagara,
Brother.
or mid block, whatever. You could try whatever block you want against Barca. That shit.
Against
is
Barca?
infected.
Didn't
That
we
shit is
smoke
getting
Barca in preseason? Let me be shameless.
This guy.
5-3,
this guy.
brother.
Hey, I'm out of here, bro. Let's be real.
Smoke y'all, bro.
Let's be real.
We gave y'all a pen
crazy.
and then smoked y'all. 5 goals on your head at our own stadium in LA, baby. Let's go. What is it
Bro,
called? The
bro,
SoFi
what's
Stadium
Hold
or
on.
whatever.
He just claimed
yeah,
Kronk
I'm about to
is-
piss him off.
Kronk is LA Rams Stadium. Ain't no way.
And
These Arsenal fans are different.
what's his name is going to be? Listen, all that. track and
Who's
back
gonna be in
shit-
hell? I'm excited. I would love to listen. I would love to play you guys in the final. But I don't even. I mean,
I
honestly,
would- I do
Inter
it,
are
I do
not
it.
easy. But I would love to see Miles Lewis Skelly against Jamal. That would be
Get
fun to
cooked for
watch.
90 minutes.
Getting cooked for 90 minutes. That twig? Hell nah, bro. Against my boys.
Please.
Go look at his duels against that scrub Rodrigo.
Who's winning Europa League?
Atletico Bilbao. Sorry, I hate to say it.
I think, bro.
Woody
And
Glimt
if,
is winning
if
this
you
Europa
guys
League.
make it though, if you guys
Woody
make it
Glimt.
though, and Tottenham make it, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be the greatest United fan on planet Earth. I will purchase a jersey, bro. If Tottenham win this final, oh my god, bro!
Don't worry.
that's how- that's how-
Shit, my ex-coach is gonna make sure that's not happening.
I hope so, brother. Bodo
Tell
Glimt
me
all the way, bro.
what if-
Shout out Norway.
What
Shut the
if Tottenham wins Europa and Arsenal win Champions League? How you gonna feel?
I
Is
mean,
Tottenham win what,
what
Europa League?
do you mean? How am I gonna feel? They're not even gonna have a freaking. They're gonna have to schedule their parade maybe like a week after. We about to shut that joint down for the week.
وخا وخويا وخليه وخا وخويا وخليه. People let it talk, I let them do it all week. When it's time, better let the man Simo speak. It ain't sweet when you line up in the big leagues, big names and the best teams with the critique. Always on point, better come and grab a good seat. Wacha, wachoya, wachale. I ain't got no time to waste, talk ain't cheap. Wacha, wachoya, wachale. Wacha, wachoya,